You have spent lifetimes reaching for the horizon, believing that one more sunrise would bring completion. The mind whispers just a little more growth, more wisdom, more light. And so you run chasing the shimmer of a self that never quite arrives. The path of becoming promises salvation in time. It offers endless mirrors that say, not yet, but soon. You meditate, you study, you fix and refine, and still, beneath every effort, a subtle ache remains, the sense that you are almost home, but never quite. You have carried the weight of improvement, as though awakening were a destination on a map. Yet every step forward only stretches the road farther. Becoming is a mirage painted by thought. It keeps you moving, keeps you hoping, but never lets you rest. And deep within, a quiet voice begins to ask, what if there is nowhere to go? What if peace was never waiting in the distance, but breathing here, unnoticed, in this very now? The chase falters. The seeker grows weary, and in that holy exhaustion, something within you sighs, not in defeat, but in surrender. You begin to sense that what you longed for is not ahead of you, but the awareness from which the longing itself was born. Every thought of becoming fades into the hum of being. You have been the stillness all along. When the chase ends, silence begins to speak. The great collapse does not come with thunder. It arrives like a dawn, so soft it almost goes unseen. The hands that once reached for tomorrow fall open in the simplicity of now. No achievement, no arrival, only the gentle realization that nothing was missing. The seeker dissolves into the silence that always held it. Awareness does not struggle to awaken. It simply stops pretending to sleep. You feel the relief of untrying. The nervous rhythm of self-improvement slows until only breath remains. And even breath feels borrowed from stillness. Every cell whispers, enough. Enough becoming, enough searching, enough distance. You are home in the immediacy of this moment. Notice how life continues without your control. The heart beats, the earth turns, rain falls, wind moves, thought arises, and you, the witness, are untouched. In the collapse of effort, the false urgency dissolves. There is nowhere to arrive, because arrival was the illusion all along. Becoming required tension. Being requires nothing. Like a wave settling into the ocean, you return to yourself by ceasing to move. Stillness is not achieved. It is revealed when the noise of becoming grows tired of itself. Here, in this soft undoing, you taste freedom for the first time, not as triumph, but as peace. Now the silence opens wider than thought. You begin to see that the present is not a moment in time. It is the timeless field in which time appears. All becoming happens inside it, but the now itself never moves. You watch the parade of memories and plans, each insisting they are real, and you smile gently, for you know they are clouds drifting across an endless sky. The sky has no story. It holds every storm and every ray of light, without preference or fear. So too does awareness hold all of life. Before this breath, after this breath, the now remains untouched. It cannot be grasped. The hand that reaches is already inside it. You begin to laugh quietly at the simplicity of it all. What you sought for years was never hidden, only overlooked. The now does not begin, it simply is. The watcher, the watched, the watching one seamless flow. In this recognition, time loosens its grip. Regret loses its voice. Anticipation dissolves into presence. What remains is radiant ordinariness, a cup of tea steaming, light touching the wall, the faint rhythm of your breath, all sacred, all eternal. You are the light by which the now is seen, and the now is the light by which you are known. They were never two. When awareness remembers itself, life continues, yet something essential has changed. You no longer move through the world as a seeker trying to complete a story. You move as the silence through which stories arise. Action flows, but without strain. Decisions happen, but without anxiety. You live without the weight of me. This is the quiet miracle of the end of becoming. Life goes on, yet it is effortless. You eat, walk, speak, rest, but the invisible grasping has fallen away. The current of awareness carries you, and every moment feels guided by a deeper intelligence. This is not detachment. It is intimacy without ownership. You taste life fully because nothing is being held. Even pain loses its poison. Sorrow becomes a gentle teacher. Joy becomes a passing visitor, both welcome. You begin to see yourself everywhere, in the eyes of strangers, in the rustle of leaves, in the silence between words. Compassion no longer requires effort. It blooms naturally from the recognition of unity. To live beyond becoming is to live as transparency, life shining through without resistance. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to fix. You are not the wave fighting for shape. You are the ocean expressing itself freely. Stillness moves, love breathes, awareness plays as form and formlessness, and through it all, a smile rests quietly in your heart, not from achievement, but from remembrance. Eventually, even realization becomes ordinary. The mind may still whisper its stories, but you listen from the vastness, not the voice. You have returned to what you never left, the timeless presence that watches worlds appear and fade. The seasons change, bodies age, empires rise and crumble, but the silent witness remains unmoved. Awareness needs no protection, no validation. It was never born. It cannot die. You rest in that certainty, and it feels like love. The heart opens not to something new, but to everything that already is. There is no longer inside or outside, self or other, only the luminous simplicity of being. You breathe, and the universe breathes with you. Each exhale dissolves the illusion of boundaries. Being has no ambition. It creates without intention. It gives without loss. The end of becoming is not the end of life. It is the end of resistance to life. Now you walk lightly, aware that every step is the eternal now unfolding itself. Even if thought returns to its old games, you smile. You know the play for what it is, a wave pretending to forget the ocean. You do not need to hold this understanding. The understanding holds you. The seeker is gone, the search is over, and stillness remains. Becoming ends, but being was never absent. If this message touched the silence within you, pause and breathe. Remember, awakening is not a journey toward more, but a gentle falling away into what has always been whole. When you are ready, share this stillness. Like, subscribe, and let this light ripple outward, not to become something greater, but to remember the infinite that already shines in you. Be still, be vast, be the end of becoming.